The classroom on the starship Orion was silent, save for the low hum of its engines. Alien students of various shapes, sizes, and colors, each representing a different species from across the galaxy, sat in rows, their eyes focused intently on the holographic display in front of them. At the head of the room stood Professor Zelrith, a towering being with translucent skin that shimmered like liquid crystal. His long, tendril-like appendages moved gracefully as he prepared the next lesson. "Today, we delve into a topic of great importance," Zelrith said in a voice that resonated with a deep, melodic tone. "The human species. Why are they banned from galactic war?" The students exchanged curious glances. It was a topic they had all heard whispers of, but the true reason remained shrouded in mystery. Many had assumed it was due to humanity's lack of technological advancement, or perhaps their erratic behavior, but no one had ever been given the complete answer. Zelrith activated the hologram, and a series of images appeared, humans in various settings, some peaceful, others violent. The professor's voice took on a somber tone as he began his explanation. Humans, as you know, are a young species in the galactic community. Their technology is primitive compared to ours, and their understanding of the cosmos is still developing. But none of this is why they are banned from engaging in war with the more advanced species. The true reason lies in their psychology. Their potential for destruction is unlike anything we have ever encountered. The hologram shifted, showing a human soldier, their face filled with determination, holding a weapon larger than their body. Zelrith paused, letting the image sink in before continuing. Their capacity for violence is driven by a combination of emotions, fear, anger, and an overwhelming desire to protect what they perceive as their own. It is this emotional volatility that makes them dangerous. For centuries, we believed they were too unpredictable to participate in galactic conflicts. But this is not the entire truth. Zelrith's tendrils curled slightly, a sign that he was about to reveal something even more profound. The hologram shifted again, this time displaying a large-scale battle between different alien species. The carnage was immense, and the students watched in rapt attention. "Observe," said the professor. "This is how galactic wars have typically unfolded. For most species, the outcome of war is decided by strategic advantage, technological superiority, and the willingness to sacrifice resources. In these conflicts, the loss of life is tragic, but it is calculated. However, the introduction of humans into such wars would alter everything." He paused, allowing the gravity of his words to sink in. Humans do not fight like other species. Their wars are not merely about victory. They fight with an intensity that stems from their deep emotional bonds to one another. When they go to war, they do not calculate the loss of life. They are driven by a fierce, almost primal urge to protect their own. And this is where their true danger lies. The students looked bewildered, trying to grasp the enormity of what the professor was saying. Zelrith continued, "The human concept of war is not based on diplomacy or the calculation of risk. They do not fight for resources, territory, or even survival in the traditional sense. They fight for ideals, for freedom, for the preservation of their culture, and most importantly, for each other. Their capacity to fight for their kind, even against overwhelming odds, makes them a terrifying force." One of the students, a small insectoid creature named Vreka, raised her many arms in confusion. "But surely this could be an asset. Why not allow them to fight for us, to help us in our wars?" Zelrith's gaze softened, and he shook his head. "You misunderstand. Their desire to fight for each other is exactly why they cannot be allowed in galactic war. When a human soldier goes into battle, they do not consider the enemy in the same way we do. To them, every life, whether human or alien, is valuable. This is why they cannot be trusted. They do not adhere to the cold logic that governs the rest of us. They will fight until the last one falls, regardless of the cost." The room was silent as the weight of the professor's words sank in. The students began to understand humans' inability to calculate losses in the same way that other species did made them a wild card. Their emotional involvement in war would not only result in massive casualties, but it could also drag entire civilizations into conflicts that might otherwise have been avoided. Let me give you an example, Zelrith continued. One of the greatest conflicts in human history, the war known as the Second World War, nearly destroyed their entire planet. What made it particularly devastating was that they did not stop even when victory seemed impossible. They fought on with a ferocity that defied all logic, and in the end, they did something unprecedented. They used weapons of mass destruction on each other, not once, but twice, to force an end to the conflict. These actions were not out of malice, but rather a desperation to end the suffering. The hologram shifted again, showing the aftermath of the war. A devastated human city, the ruins of what had once been a thriving metropolis. Imagine, Zelrith said, his voice grave, a species with the potential to destroy entire worlds because of their emotional involvement. Imagine them in the midst of a galactic war, unable to control their instincts, willing to sacrifice everything to protect their people. The results would be catastrophic. The students looked at each other, now fully comprehending the gravity of the situation. They understood that the humans, for all their potential, were too unpredictable, too dangerous to be allowed into the larger conflicts of the galaxy. Humans are not inherently evil, Zelrith said, but their capacity for unrestrained emotional warfare makes them a threat to the balance of the galaxy. Their hearts are their strength and their greatest weakness. As the lecture came to a close, the students sat in contemplation. The truth about humans was not one of technological limitations or strategic shortcomings, but of a deeper, more fundamental nature, a nature that, while admirable, was also dangerous in the context of galactic war. Professor Zelrith gazed out over his students, knowing that their understanding of the humans would shape the future of the galaxy. It was a truth that was both a warning and a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. For all their flaws, humanity was, in many ways, unlike any other species in the galaxy, and that, in itself, was what made them so dangerous. As the students filed out of the room, their minds buzzing with the weight of what they had learned, they couldn't help but wonder if humans were ever allowed to fight. Would it be their strength or their flaw that would shape the future? Would they bring destruction or salvation to the galaxy? The answer, no one knew.